It's Wild941, wild941.com. Joey Franchize here. Nice little edition of Joey Knows Kicks. You know me, I'm a huge sneakerhead, and I'm always, loving it when I, link up with fellow sneakerheads. Not only is he a sneakerhead, but he's also one of the owners of Fresh Rags in St. Pete. My man Mike right here, and we got Jace as well. How you guys doing, man?
Doing good. Can't complain. Thank you for having us.
No doubt, man. I mean, this is a big, we got a big day coming up. You got Saturday, you're doing the launch of your sneaker collab with Saucony. So it's a Fresh Rag Saucony collab. Super hyped for the shoot. Before we get into, the nitty gritty with that, just tell people a little bit about the store. How long have you had it open? And what, got you into sneakers in the first place?
Absolutely. So we opened in 2008. And we always had a goal of bringing really fresh streetwear and sneakers and something different that you would find at the mall. So that way it's always completely different and than what you would see a normal Champs, Foot Locker, and more hyped and, less, what would the word be? Like accessible. The less accessible for shoes that are outside of your common everyday shoe. And then different streetwear brands, whether it's Cali, New York, Tokyo, whatever.
And I love it because you guys just renovated the spot, and it's nothing like I've seen in any other St. Pete or Tampa area, respectfully.
For sure.
So tell me where the love for sneakers came about, because I mean I know you're heavy into like the runners. Yep. We've had many conversations about these prior whenever I pop in the store. So tell me where your love for sneakers came from.
Well, it's funny. In middle school is when it really happened, and towards like the end of middle school, early high school, when I'm drawing Nike checks on literally everything, and just. Next thing you know, you see all these different models, whether it's New Balance, Converse, Saucony, and they're amazing. And you're just like, man, you can wear this so many different ways. So you want all of them. And then it realizes, yeah, you don't have any money. So
Facts.
Now you have to go out here, you have to work really hard just to get one pair of shoes. And you're like, oh man, I got to figure out another way. And that's where the love came from. And then next thing you know, that's all I wanted to do was clothes and shoes.
That's cool. Now, how did you guys connect, Jason and Mike? How did you guys link up? Where did this collab come from? You guys meet. Where did it all start from?
Yeah, I think it was Keith that he ended up wearing my brand into Mike's store, and Mike kind of reached out to Keith and he's like, hey, what brand is that? Blah, blah, blah. And Keith was actually like, oh, this is my buddy's brand, this and that. And so pretty much Keith linked us together, and Mike brought my brand into the store, and it was actually the first boutique I was in. And then Mike needed like branding and logo work, and so like I ended up doing refreshing his logo and stuff like that. And so we just kind of built a relationship off of that, and then it just kind of led up to blossomed into this, for sure.
So tell us a little bit about your brand. Where did you kind of get the concept from, or where did all the artistic creativity come from?
Yeah, so it's really very Florida based, but it's just inspired by the sea. It's called Anthony Bay Shore, and I grew up Tampa Bay, so it's very home here. But yeah, so it's just pretty much inspired by the sea.
So how does that feel like to have that phone call from Mike? Not only are you guys cool, and you got the shirts, which I actually have a few at the house myself, which is great, by the way. I love
the heat wave joint.
The heat wave one. The heat wave joint is fire because I love. I'm a big vintage guy, so it has that kind of like vintage feel to it as far as the style. So.
It was actually inspired by a old vintage Metallica tee.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
So that's actually where that came from, and then so. Pulled just pieces from that, but yeah.
That's fire. And what's fire too is, Mike giving you that phone call and say, hey, I really want you to help out with, the Saucony collab and Fresh Rags. So tell me a little bit what that, I know you felt like you had to bring that, you already bring your A game when you do your own stuff, but now you're doing it for like a huge brand like this.
Oh yeah, that's next level. Mike knows how stoked I was with it. It was just like, it was almost kind of unbelievable in a way.
And let's be clear, they actually turned us down on our first pitch.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Mike's gonna have to tell you about that. That's
wow.
all. Yeah,
you
gotta hit. You gotta hit that backstory on that. Honestly, Mike. But yeah, it's getting the phone call from Mike. Literally was like, "Yo, we got this chance," and it was just. I actually just posted on my Instagram that like I literally did like 8 variations of this thing.
Wow.
Just to make sure in different pitches for each of the. It was nuts, but we had to come correct with this because it's like it was huge for Mike. It's huge for me. Huge for the city and our area. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
From a local boutique.
yeah, so I mean, it was just one of those things that it was like we had to do our due diligence on it and like really make it pop. So
Right.
it was sick though.
No, trust me. So looking at the posts on the Instagram and just seeing like all the models, rock all the gear, and the whole capsule looks amazing. By the way, we're gonna get into it in a second, but I want to touch upon the shoe a little bit, Mike, because I'm a runner guy. I mean, I'm very versatile when it comes to my shoes. Sometimes I'll be in like a Jordan or a Dunk or something like that, or a Yeezy or what have you. But I love dabbling with the runners, like the New Balance, the Sauconys, the you name it. You know what I mean? Like just kind of differentiate and kind of you find a new how do you say, like you just kind of dabble in and get creative with some of my the streetwear I wear, along with like sneakers that I probably normally don't see everybody rock like that. Like, and Saucony's more of like a up north kind of shoe, so to have it down here in Florida and to see it flourish the way it has through your store, I mean, it really speaks numbers. So tell me a little bit of like it might not get as much as the hype as these Jordans do and things like that, but tell me a little bit about how important like the runner culture is.
Oh, it's massive. I think it's one of the leading parts. I mean, obviously everyone looks at basketball first. I think runners are a little more easier to sport, so I think that's why they, in my opinion, have I don't know how to word it. Oh man, I just went blank. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
See that I don't know. I prefer the runners over basketball. I think it's easier to wear, especially for our climate. And then you can dress up and down almost any runner, however you need, with jeans, slacks, nylon shorts, basketball shorts. You can wear runners with everything. So for me, that's why it's always been like my favorite part of it, outside of a basketball shoe.
I feel it.
I feel like it's just more comfortable.
I'm not really good at articulating all this. To me, comfort is always better in runners, absolutely, than basketball.
Yeah, basketball,
They're very
you just kinda feel
stiff.
Yeah.
Whereas runners, like you're just always getting this cushion, and it's more comfy. But yeah.
I feel like runners, like at least the culture for running sneakers it's like underground hip hop. It's like I kind of look at it like as like MF Doom, like an MF Doom, like RIP, like you know what I mean, like that vibe. There's like a cult following, and there's people that actually, because I mean, even when you drop your runners on your site, like majority of them like sell out.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's obviously clientele for it. I mean, myself included, because I'm in your store like almost every other week. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I feel like it gets that, it's like an underground feel, and it's like I love it, the fact, because I feel like it's an exclusive kind of fan base for like the guys that really embrace the whole running culture.
I think a lot of it also comes back to there's so many different little like panels and pieces that you can pick apart on a runner that you can color and pull out different like looks. Opposed to a basketball is usually a much more bulky one piece, not really one piece, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't know if I'm saying that right. What do you think, Jace?
Yeah, no, there is. I mean, the Saucony is especially the grid web it's a good example, because you can, especially, I mean, coming from a design standpoint, you can pick it apart. You can pick it apart from a design standpoint and kind of create it to what you need to be. Do you want it to be more like technical looking and just straight runner, or do you want to mix it with like what we did with like premium materials, and it's just there's a lot you could do with it.
That's another thing. You don't ever really see suede on basketball shoes.
Right.
Suede on sneakers is the best. It's by far, in my opinion, I think it trumps.
I agree with the sway. It's definitely sway on sneakers is definitely a key. It's something that I personally, love as far as like material on kicks. So going into the sneaker now, I mean, what was it like choosing, picking the model? Like Saucony gives you, hey, we want to green light this thing.
Unfortunately, you don't get to pick the model, but luckily they chose one that was already my favorite. So it really worked out. So, yeah, unfortunately, you don't get to choose. Maybe it's because it's our first collab or whatever it may be.
Yeah, well, I think they were really trying to I think they were really trying to make the push for the grid web coming back out and like reintroducing it with the like chunky sneaker wave.
Right.
And
it also has a very fashionable feel.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's an underrated shoe for sure. But yeah, I mean,
You see
but
the iridescent.
Yeah.
It caught me off guard.
I need this lighting at all times.
But yeah, so they approached us with, hey, See, that's why you gotta kind of know this backstory, because I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's funny. It's a good story because Mike had. You know what, Mike? No,
Just tell us, man. You might as well just tell us. There's so much hype around this story.
So I pitched it with a picture of a manatee with all the different colors glooming from the light hitting the water. And he goes, "What are you sending me?" And I don't see it.
This thing was like super pixelated.
It was. It wasn't the greatest photo, but it really helped tell the story on where we got to today. Because unfortunately, when it comes to Florida and collabs, everyone immediately goes to flamingos or South Beach.
Yeah.
And from day one, we said, no, that's not Florida. Where do you see flamingos besides Busch Gardens? You don't.
Right.
So we're like, man, we love going to the springs in the summer, kayaking, whatever it is, and then you have a manatee, which is obviously they're under a lot of pressure. They have this and that, and they're very gentle creatures that don't harm or do anything.
Right.
So why don't we go that route? So after that, we came back, and he's like, I kind of see what your vision is. Let's do it on a grid web and see how the mock-ups look, right? That's how you would put it.
They
like,
wanted to reintroduce it.
exactly. We want to see, let's see how it does. Then we hit him with these different variations, and it told the story to a T. And from there on, it was just go time. And that turned into one shoe, turned into a full capsule.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then we were like, okay, well, when you go out, you're going to need headwear. You're going to need all these different things. You need a beach towel when you go. Next thing you know, you need water shorts. So we're like, we're going to build a full collection that says, if it was a random day in the summer and you were going to the springs, we have it ready for you.
Wow. Yeah, that was well executed. Because I mean, you know,
I
you
hope
think
so, 'cause I'm
like
kind of nervous, but at the
wait
same time, like,
nah,
I don't want to sound crazy.
you're good. Like, wait, yo, just like the fact that you're showing the manatee some love, because I feel like the manatee doesn't get enough love in the state of Florida. But
No.
like now you see it like kind of like a almost like, and I love the dad shoe vibe. So that's why I love the grid on these Sauconys. So and it tells a story, because it's like, you know, the manatees, you know, it's a big creature,
It is.
like it's a big sea creature, and you know, it's with a dad shoe, it's kind of like that bulky feel, which is what I love. I mean, the story being told, and just in the springs with the clothes that we're about to get into, and the whole capsule that we're about to see right now that's in the box. I mean, you guys definitely did the damn thing. So
Well, we also have to say thank you, Eric, because he's the one that greenlighted it.
bet
So,
that.
we
appreciate Eric.
Everyone
we need
at Saucony.
more. We need more Fresh
do.
Rags collabs in the future, man. And we got the actual launch date for Saturday.
This Saturday, June 26th, in store. We're holding an event which Franchize is DJing, like amazing. It'll go on until 5 for the DJ. We'll see how it goes, trickling after that, and then we're gonna do the online release, which will be Monday the 28th, followed by a global release at select retailers, and that'll be right around July 10th.
Copy that.
So that could change, but as of right now, it's July 10th.
Slit, man. Now what we all been waiting for is to see what's in the box.
The unveiling.
Let's unveil everything that's gonna be in the box. That will be at the launch this Saturday,
Yes, every piece.
and will be online as well.
Yep, on Monday.
Awesome. Online Monday.
So if you want, we'll break it down and we'll start with headwear.
Let's do that. Headwear. And you already have one on yours, on your head. You have the. There you go.
Absolutely. So Jason's
I
gonna
like this.
articulate the different things.
I'm gonna let Jace
Right?
hold it down. I'm gonna let you guys just kind of break it down. I'm gonna play background right now.
Oh shit! All right. So, yeah. You want to start with that one? Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want-
Why not?
Ranger's your favorite.
Yeah,
You got to
the
start with it.
So all right. So
The Park Service.
this is the Park Service cap, and it's the Ranger cap. So it's clearly based off of park rangers, go around, help clean up, keep everything in line with the parks, you know, and they really help, like I said, like keep it clean and keep the environment just how it's supposed to be, which is pretty much pristine, untouched, for as much as it can, with actually being able to enjoy it at the same time. So the Ranger was a must, and then we'll also get into it with the shorts and all of that. But yeah, so it just you got the Park Service patch. It's just kind of laid out clean, but yeah, got the 72 degrees on the back, which we'll explain. Yeah, well, so Mike will probably get into that a little bit, but
we added that to all the hats. That's the regulating temperature of all the springs. So it's right around a constant 72 degrees.
all year
Yeah,
round.
Really cool, all year round.
Yeah, and then so just kind of tying it all in, all the hats also come with this water print lining that's current throughout. Obviously, it's on the box and all that. So, but yeah, partnering with New Era We had to do New Era. Mike was very adamant.
I was.
Mike was
It's
very
my
adamant.
favorite hat company, and
Yep.
we've had a
Yep.
very long relationship with them.
Yep. So
Thank you, Rodney.
that's that, and then we'll get into this one as well. So yeah. So there's more of your runner or camp cap. Still camper. Still Park Service. Just bringing in more of the teals and like lighter colors that you're gonna find in the springs. Obviously complements the overall capsule well. Still 72 on the back. So actually the clear clasp on this is we wanted to keep a consistent kind of what's that word? Consistent like theme like throughout the sneaker, which is clear kayak, and you'll see that in our
And
lookbooks
crystal clear
and
water.
Crystal clear water. So like this clear theme, So that's kind of like why that's clear and stuff like that. But once again, nice pop at the bottom. The lining still water print.
Oh, and I want to say one thing. He was really against 4 hats, and I had to really push this. So it was really only supposed to be 2.
He went hard for the hats,
I
and
did.
I'm like, you need 2, and he's like,
He's a hat guy.
I
we're
am.
like,
I respect it.
I mean, I'm bald. I'm a hat guy too, but four hats. But Mike,
They came out
came out
incredible.
great. Yeah, they did come out great. So, this just tying in, with the shoe, with the gray, and I don't know if we can catch the right lighting on this,
iridescent.
but yeah. So we got the iridescent fresh on the one panel, and then once again just keeping on theme. Bottom contrasted gray. That's
Something that's
also
not
with-
as flashy.
Right.
You can tone it down with
still
the shoe.
yeah, and this is still within the shoe. Same thing with the green, continuing theme that you're gonna find throughout the shoe. Green laces or green eelgrass on the back embroidery. Yeah.
It's going to be amazing when he articulates the different things on the shoe.
So then once again, just pretty much just a play on the colorway, and instead of the iridescent, we did the 3M fresh on this panel, along with the more flashy like lining that we used on the inside, which is also throughout the.
It fits more my style.
Yeah,
The more
yeah,
flashy,
little
bright
little
colors.
bright, colorful. Once again, clear clasp. Yeah, sorry if I'm not showing this well, but you just.
You just
yeah,
got to
gotta-
walk up and do a close-up.
Yeah, you gotta see it. But yeah, so I mean that's pretty much the headwear. But you'll see that it complements the whole. It just ties everything together because you need the headwear.
Yeah,
You know what I
of
mean?
course, yeah, you gotta
I
have
mean,
it all, top to bottom.
we're. Yeah.
I want to mention, going into this, we had a goal to add a charitable aspect to where you can raise money. Our goal was to name a manatee Webby, which is going to be super cool if we can reach the goal. So we did do a sticker pack where all the proceeds go to save our manatee club.
Wow.
And that's going to be to help raise enough to name a manatee Webby for the grid web.
Yep.
There you go.
That's amazing.
Shout
Yeah,
out
it's a
to Eric
sticker
for the
pack.
name too. He's
Yes.
like Webby. We're like, let's do it.
I love it.
You want to do clothing or a beach towel?
Let's run the clothing.
All right. Bam. Here, if you want to hold
So yeah.
Mike Myers
So this,
whole thing?
yeah, right.
You know it. You know it. I should have just wore it.
So
That's so fire.
yeah, so this guy, obviously,
You wanna keep holding?
it's one of them.
It's up to you.
Yeah. I love him over here.
It's definitely one of the premium aspects of this capsule is because it really just encompasses the whole capsule in itself. Basically, we submerged the manatees in the graphic within its environment. So pretty much the tie-dye itself, it plays on the actual spring water. So that's kind of where that comes from. And then obviously you have the Saucony fresh branding together, and it just that's like the all-encompassing tee.
And one of the coolest things is they're all hand dyed, so they're not all looking the same.
Yeah, they're
you
all
might,
different.
You might see like the same consistency in the way the colors drop, but all the dyeing marks are different.
Yeah, they're all completely
Yeah,
different.
super cool. Then we get into the amazing
This is,
72.
yeah.
So we got on the front, we got the little. Oh, you gotta say it.
Oh, this
No,
is
go-
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what we were kind of talking about with
Around with
we
the-
yep.
with the temperature.
Yep. So we wanted to really kind kind of hit home for that and kind of educate the people on just the fact that it's kind of a crazy like kind of fact is that it regulates at 72 degrees all year round. So yeah, this one's the all year round.
Also, just throw it out there, not to cut you off. Not to cut you off. We added a 7 under the 72 degrees to highlight the city. So it's
727. Yeah, it's a little
it says
Easter egg.
727.
Yeah, it's a little
hidden nod.
little gem for the city, you know. So
Yeah, that's so dope. He put it in right here.
yeah, and it's
727 right there under the app. That's awesome.
Is it larger on the back?
yeah, it's actually larger on the back. So, but yeah, so the back pretty much just tells the story of more of actual like photo story of the manatees and research that goes behind them, and really just keeping them safe in their habitat and all that. It's got the eelgrass at the bottom, but
We also can't stress it enough that you're not supposed to touch, ride, or go near the
Yeah.
manatees. Just let them be.
Yep.
And it's better for their preservation.
yeah, because when they and even technically when you feed them like fresh water from the hose and stuff like that, and they come up and it's super cute and all, but technically you're not even really supposed to do that. Just because
We saw you doing it, Pharrell, but it's okay.
But yeah, so that's pretty much what this whole T is about, is really just the regulating, and this like a hydrology map, and to where so yeah.
Straight to the point.
Cool.
Do we go to water short or do we go to yours? I should have taken them out of plastic.
Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, thanks.
We'll go to water short.
All right, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
And then we'll go into how we
Yeah.
worked it together.
Alright, we're going water shorts now.
My favorite piece.
Loud.
This is the other one.
Loud.
Very loud.
Yeah, it's super loud. You like the loud stuff.
You mind if I just toss this?
Yeah, you can put it right there for now.
So this
Ooh,
is
I like the
our,
material.
our water short.
That's a cool material right
Oh,
there.
Yeah,
yeah,
Mike,
the
you can
nylon.
talk about it.
This is hard.
We needed everything to be nylon. That's the look.
This is fun.
Yeah, so that's actually like just like, because when you go to the springs, there's just all these varying colors of teals, blues, you know, obviously what you see throughout the collection,
Especially when
but-
it's like reflecting off the rocks and all that.
yeah, so that's where obviously like the bulk of this pattern comes from, like I showed you, the inside of the lining and obviously the box and stuff like that. And then we just kind of repeated this
We wanted to pay homage to the shoe and add that from the back of the heel.
right, yeah, yep. So this is
Which represents the eelgrass.
the eelgrass that's obviously occurring in the springs, and yeah, so you just got the rubber tipped drawstring, you got the fresh Saucony lockup at the bottom with the rubber patch, PVC patch.
I was very adamant it had to be rubber, not printed, nothing else.
Yeah,
I love the rubber patches.
Yes.
it's that it's
It's that
added-
little detail that just
Yeah.
hits.
Yep.
We'll get into his favorite.
My favorite.
This is
Favorite?
absolutely
Yep.
Chase's. Is it gonna be weird that I'm just throwing it behind me?
No, you're good.
This guy.
I think
Yeah.
this might be franchise.
That actually might be my favorite too. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yep. So this one goes for the real like that park ranger tactical. You know, it's got.
With the zip.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
got the
everything
zip.
zipper close.
Yep. Zipper up on the front. The buttoned pocket here. It's got like the iridescent vibe for the print of the Park Service, which once again ties it all back in. Also with the Saucony Fresh Rags patch, like the other one. Yeah, all the sealed zippers.
I'm a zipper guy. Like,
yeah.
I love zippers all
I feel like almost every short should have one zipper pocket.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so especially when you wear the whole ensemble, it's
How many
like,
times
it's-
does your phone just fall out or your like card case and you're
Right.
just like,
Yeah.
if I had one pocket that's closed, we're
it
good.
will never come out? Yep.
Yeah, this is by far my favorite short.
Yeah.
I just
And-
a big fan of the park ranger service patch and everything like that. So this is cool.
Paying homage to the Rangers. All right, so then we move into, with Jace's brand being all about water. I'll let him break it down.
Yeah,
and
so-
going more into the deep like exploration.
Yeah. So when Mike was pretty adamant that he did want me involved in some aspect of this, like beyond just designing the shoe and the capsule and stuff like that. So he definitely wanted to bring Bayshore in, and it honestly was an honor. And you know, one of the first memories that I can remember of ever visiting a spring was Jenny Springs, and my dad would tell me about like the divers that go down in these caves, and I didn't even know there was like underwater caves at this point because I'm a legit. And he literally was telling us that
nice word from the South.
They and that they would go down and like not come back up. And then so, you know, just if you were to research more on that, these caves actually have these signs that say prevent your death, go no further, and it like lists out, you know, like all the divers that died doing that, and it's actually got pretty much a similar graphic for that.
So is it the similar one with like with the
Oh yeah, it's under at the bottom with the dead divers at the bottom. So like quick little background with Bayshore is everything's always so sunny and vibes when it comes to like coastal wear,
Right.
and that's not Bayshore. Bayshore is like the dark in the beauty of it. So either way, so that's a natural thing to kind of go to that darker sense of it. But yeah, so that's the Reaper tee, and we got that in 2 different colors, which
Also,
is
the blue was added because of the brightness that I need. I
yeah.
need in my life.
Couldn't just keep
Otherwise, it would
keep
just be grays and blacks for Jace, which we have an amazing like little color pop on it.
Yeah.
I think the gray actually like hits a lot harder.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, because with the color, you know, scheme behind the Reaper, that pops off. It pops
Yeah.
off.
Yep. So yeah, that's
Just
Little
think
story
twice about
behind
going
that.
cave diving.
yeah. You need cave diving certification. Like, don't just go in there and poke around and all that, because yeah.
And then obviously we need to move into our towel.
Yeah, I'll let
Which
Mike
was the
talk
most
about
strenuous
this. Yeah.
part of this. Just trying to find the right towel that we would like, and we wanted 100% cotton, not really thin. We wanted a nice heavy weight.
It's huge.
Yes, and we wanted it a little oversized,
wow.
and by that, so we
Full
took.
body.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, when you fall out of the kayak, you definitely need one. So, or you're tubing down the river. So we did that, and we wanted to work it together with Jace's Anthony Bayshore. We took inspiration from the no wake signs that you would see going into the springs from the Gulf. Yep. So that lets you know, like, hey, slow down. Your propellers will hurt manatees. Let's just keep it calm. And that's where the inspiration came from. And plus, I mean, we live in Florida. We always need towels.
Yo, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's gonna be a hot day, you walking around. You know?
Exactly. You're going to need a towel. Our humidity is horrible.
Wow.
So, yeah. Okay. And now we get to move into the amazing part of it, and our one of our favorite parts.
Ooh, that box.
Which, by the way, Franchize, we did bring you an 8.5 for yourself. So,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Get all that going.
Yeah. Well, you can. Go ahead. It's all you, buddy.
Alright. So yeah, where really
Show that other side.
yeah
Since
where
that's the
really,
sample label.
really start.
By the way, for everyone asking, it's Saucony, not Saucony.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I grew up calling it Saucony.
Same.
And thankfully, my rep at the time, Nat, he's like, hey, just a heads up, it's actually Saucony. And I corrected myself from that day on.
Yep. So I mean, just keeping on theme with the bottom of the springs and all the variations of the colors of teals and blues, like I've been saying probably too much around this, but
You really like teals and blues.
teals and blues, bro. That's what it is. But yeah, so obviously wanted to make a absolutely beautiful box, but continuing
that
with the theme, the
iridescent.
iridescent hits. I don't. Yeah.
The
if that
glistening off the water.
Yep. So just continuing that, and we also have the river logo on the front. That's also the iridescent, which you'll also obviously see on the shoe itself. But yeah. So unbox this guy.
Even the paper.
So oh yeah. So even the paper, it has basically wrapped in this eelgrass that we keep talking about. So I mean, what better way to kind of encompass the whole shoe itself than to just wrap it in eelgrass, because that's the vegetation that they eat and all this. It just makes sense. Yeah. Thanks for
was a
the
must.
thanks for the assist.
No problem.
And then we get into it.
There you go.
I probably should have like laced them and
Laces?
stuffed them.
Let them taste them
Right.
nice. It's all good.
You know, I wanted Franchize to have the crispest pear you could get.
Untouched.
know it.
Untouched.
Yeah. There's a lot of nice details on here, but obviously we'll start with. I mean, my favorite aspect of this is really this like algae textured suede, because manatees actually have this algae that grows on them. They're not just a smooth, manatee. They got algae, and because they live in the water the whole time, so it's like they never come out. So they grow this on them, and so to be able to find a texture that actually represents it pretty well was awesome. Shout out to Eric and the team over there. But it's just premium.
And the funny
suede.
thing is, they nailed it first try.
First try.
With the suede. Like, there was no
Yeah.
going back and forth. It was like, this is it, and we were like, yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
you guys got to see the materials. Or
yeah,
kinda pick through it?
they they send over swatches and stuff like that, and we're just like, yeah, run that. You know what I mean? So, yep. And then so the neoprene obviously goes with like wetsuits and stuff, but that's already all the grid webs have the neoprene on it.
I believe
right?
so, yeah, neoprene.
So that's kind of, it already goes with that.
And then we did all gray for like just the overall color and
of the
whatnot
manatee.
of the manatee.
Yep. And then and so with this cage, it's like this really nice iridescent cage. It kind of switches colors just a little bit, but it's just such a what's that word it's so unique, and it makes it pop well, because when we first presented it to them, we wanted to kind of like show when you're underwater and you see the sun coming through the surface, it has these ripples and kind of over the manatee body, you know what I mean? So like we wanted to get that across, but also like it has to pop. And Eric came through with this, and he's like, yeah, this isn't changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
He's
though
like,
we
he's like,
were like, well, can we get like a gel?
Yeah,
some type of gel.
yeah, we wanted like whether like we were trying to do a bunch of like
Color
like we
changing
said,
with temperature.
Yeah,
We tried a lot of different things.
we tried a lot of things, and they're like, yeah, production's not gonna allow that. Yeah, this and that, and so we we
There's
got
certain limitations.
yeah
We just tried to push them as far as we could.
well, because
you
you can always pull back, but you can't like if you give something mediocre and it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we could do that. But why would you do that when you can just take it to the top and then bring it
Work
back?
the way down.
Yeah, you let them reel you back. That's how I think of it. But so we just shot for the moon on pretty much everything with the shoe.
Every little detail.
Every little detail with the shoe.
And I must add, I really wanted a pull tab on the back.
Really?
And I got fought all the way, and it's not on there.
Yep.
Thanks. It's okay.
Yeah.
It looks amazing with and without it.
Yeah. The pull tab it just didn't really work on there. But I mean, it would have just wouldn't work. You
It's
know?
okay.
But
I just want to throw it out there.
Yeah. I think
I harp on these things.
But yeah, and then once again the iridescent river logo, which is originally we wanted it clear, like the clear kayak and clear water, and kind of bring that in. But that was again kind of shot down a little bit because of
It's the way that it's constructed, and
Yeah.
with the blue cage, it just wouldn't have transcended the way we needed it to.
it basically you're gonna see the blue cage underneath, and you're gonna see how it's.
You'll never make out that it's the Saucony River logo.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So we were immediately like, all right, well, let's do iridescent to and then so moving back to the heel accents, those are embroidered to represent the eelgrass.
Yeah, because normally on the grid web they're embossed.
Yeah, and actually
we wanted it fully stitched.
yeah, it'd be actually good to note that on the other grid webs as well, they usually have line work up in here as well.
We removed
and
it.
that's actually removed, so that's actually unique to our shoe as well, which hasn't been done. Yeah, and then just kind of if you kind of get further into the shoe, I don't know if
You got it.
yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to like
You want me to just
even
throw
see it
Halfway.
halfway.
Halfway. We'll leave the other half for some other people.
Yeah. So like the insole
Wow.
has basically just once again just kind of showing where it comes from, manatee. Yeah, so it's what do they call it? The like because we wanted it like
It's like a high density printing, right?
yeah, something about it is like
I don't
the
remember.
yeah. Either way, it just pops
There's
more
so many
because
little
it was a
details
little
that you
faded.
have to try to remember.
Yeah.
Because you're changing down to the single thread on the shoe. It's crazy.
Yeah, and we also put a little like background story on the tongue of the shoe. Yeah,
Which has
yeah.
the coordinates for Ginny Springs.
Yeah, it has the coordinates.
We should
for
probably
Ginny
mention that. The
Springs
box, the shoes, everything has the coordinates for Ginny Springs.
Yep. And then so there's just like a lot of details that go into this, and then it's probably Mike's favorite part, and honestly, it's one of my favorite parts that just really it's the cherry on top for this, and is actually the outsole.
Yes, the two-tone
So,
ice.
yeah.
It's a win
The two,
with the little glistening pieces.
yeah, so we added the silver flake in there. That way, it's like the glistening on top of the springs, and obviously we have the pattern continued throughout.
A fun fact: they originally told us the little cap, could not be clear, and our sample came in clear, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna run with that.
Well, yeah, which was crazy because we originally wanted it clear to where you could see through it, and then and we were told no, and then it came in clear, and we're like, oh, well, let's put that print underneath that for sure. Then if we can do it.
The first two samples don't have that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I think one of these
Did
days.
one of them?
No, I think one of these days you gotta post the samples to just
We will.
just
We'll
show
the
where it's actually came
progress from
to.
it.
Yeah, and then just topped off comes with 2 extra pairs of laces, one in the green and one in the cream, and yeah, obviously.
By the way, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we've seen other shoes with two-tone ice. It's always single blue.
Yeah.
They'll do like a colored ice or just flat ice or clear, but
we
had to get two.
Yeah, two-tone. I mean, because like I said, like there's over 700 springs in Florida.
Yes.
And every one of them looks different in how, every one of them looks different. So it's just only right to have these different blocks of color in kind of throughout the collection. So.
And for everyone that keeps asking us and sending DMs, we shot it at Kelly Rock Springs.
Yeah.
In Apopka.
That was a really good.
Amazing spot. We had to go through the Orlando Commission to get approval and everything else to shoot there. So it was incredible.
Yeah. So shout out to them though, because they did give us they gave us the royal treatment for sure.
They did.
They
And the images they showcased that.
Yeah. They went above and beyond. Yeah. So shout out to them. But yeah, man, that's
yours.
That's yours.
So.
This is fire. I want to try these on real quick.
For sure. I mean, the Travises are nice, but I mean, these manatees are.
Manatees hit different.
Now, the question we got to ask though is, what laces are you doing?
Oh, for laces, I'm definitely doing. I like what you did right here.
Two-tone
with the
all
two-tone. I like the green, one white. But man, the occasion, I'll probably flip-flop around and.
There's a lot of people that refuse to use the extra laces. Like whatever it comes laced with, they won't switch it. And I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes those alternate laces just change the whole mood of the shoe.
Oh yeah, these are
Fire.
super light.
Even though they look like they'd be heavier, they're not.
Nah, definitely not heavy.
Extremely cushioned.
Very, very soft, very light. Yeah, very light shoe. I love, even when you're looking at like the way the light's hitting it right now on the web, like you're just seeing all the different colors just kind of fluctuating
This
around.
studio lighting kills the iridescent river logo.
This is crazy.
And the cage. It's amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait for everybody to go and get a pair this Saturday at Fresh Rags, 11 a.m. to 5.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're doing. Give them the address once again to the store.
Fresh Rags, it's 7620 49th Street, Pinellas Park, and we're right on Park Boulevard.
No doubt. Jace's brand is there also, Anthony Bayshore. Make sure you tap in with him on that. Just let you guys give out socials and everything like that. Let everybody know where they can follow you and
Fresh
keep
Rags
up.
on IG.
Anthony Bayshore, just Anthony Bayshore, IG. Yeah, easy.
And we have to, one more time, we have to say thank you again to Saucony for making this dream come to a reality.
For sure.
For our first shoe release, we couldn't have asked for a better partner and just overall project. It was incredible from the first decline to moving forward to this amazing project.
Yeah, for real though. Yeah, I mean I know it's super special for Mike to have this, for the for him, for the city, for everything. And honestly, for
all of us.
low key, like for Florida, like this, I feel like this. I can't stress it enough. Of just people need to understand, and we want them to understand that there's more to Florida than what's on the surface and what everybody else thinks Florida is. You know what I mean?
Said. That was nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's a great way to
Yeah,
that thing.
that's how we end it right there.
I got nothing else after that, man. It's Wild 94.1, Joey Franchize, Joey Knows Kick. Shout out to Fresh Rags. Thank you to Jace. Thank you to Mike. Make sure you tap in with Fresh Rags. Anthony Bayshore. We
Stop
out.
by Saturday.
Saturday.